Another Crab's Treasure, also known as that one crab game. No, not this one. I'm talking about the Dark Souls of crab games. Yeah, this one. This game is basically a Souls-like with a bit of humor and a bunch of crab words.
What is that thing?
If you like dad jokes and puns, you're in for a treat.
My God! If I'm not mistaken, this is part of a map!
Difficulty-wise, this crab game is around the easier of the Souls-likes until you hit the final two zones, and then it ramps up, partially due to some harder enemies as well as ranged enemy placements meant to make the player mad. You essentially have two movesets and a handful of unique spells to accompany you through this 14-hour underwater journey. Your default weapon is a fork that is quick and feels responsive to panic rolls between swings. And then there's the hammer, which is a modification of the fork. This is your big greatsword equivalent that is able to stagger weaker enemies with each swing and dish out much more damage. But you are stuck in the swing animation and the recovery is much longer. If you happen to be hard stuck in some sections, or even against bosses, there is an assist mode that can be turned on and off at any time. You can turn on small buffs like reduced damage taken, or having more iframes on your dodge. You can even recover your souls, which is called microplastic in this game. And if you want to play this game on journalism mode, you can give Krill a gun. This gives you an actual gun that will one-shot any enemy, and I mean any enemy, including all the bosses in the game. I do not recommend using the gun unless you are really stuck in progression, but I'm also not here to tell you how to play your game, so do what you want. And all your Souls-like staples are here in this crab game, including some quality of life ones. We got souls that drop on death, bonfires, shortcut porn, level ups, and you can even teleport to every bonfire you find in this game. There is also a skill tree similar to what Lies of P added. This unlocks your ability to do a running attack, Helmbreaker, riposte on staggered enemies, and most importantly, the hammer moveset. You can also refund all your skills and stat points with a shark egg, and you can find a handful of those in a single playthrough. And speaking of obligatory Souls-like staples, we got a Blighttown Poison Swamp equivalent. Because of course there is. And there's even an area similar to Anne Orlando, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Here are some negative notes I want to point out with this crab game. First off, the terrain in some areas can be annoying. There are gaps in these wooden boards and you can fall through them just by running straight. And the camera clips through the terrain if you are too close to the wall or boundary. Most of the bosses are fun and adds a nice amount of challenge, but the regular enemy variety is not that high. You will see similar sea creatures for most of the game, but since it only takes about 13-14 hours to beat the game, the limited enemies are understandable and you don't get too tired of them before moving on to the next zone. Overall, this is one of the better 3D Souls-like games out there. The controls are smooth and the combat is fair with a decent amount of mechanics. I didn't even talk about the magic system or the shell swapping blocking system in the game. There's also a parry in this game that feels weird, because instead of holding block at the right time to parry, you let go of block at the right time to parry. The default price might be a little steep for the playtime, so grab this while it's on sale, or play it on Game Pass or something. My rating for the game as a whole is a very solid 4 out of 5. It's a strong Souls-like game that anyone that enjoys the genre should try out.
To the last! Rolling, you bastard. Seems I'm as worthless as you.